Hello, everyone. Andrew Rogers here, the host of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. It's great to be back with you guys once again. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. Really appreciate having you guys tune in and watching. We've been on hiatus for a couple weeks. Merry Christmas, obviously. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and Happy New Year. We are now into 2023. And you know what? Officially, the second half of the season is about to get underway this upcoming Friday. And what a race it's going to be. But we had quite a few developments happen this past week. And the big one we'll start with is the Tilbury Bluebirds. Man, oh man. Talk about a successful as a week as you could get. 3 straight wins in 3 games to distance themselves from second place now, Tillsonburg Thunder. Unbelievable stretch of games. Tilbury Bluebirds really putting their foot on the gas pedal here. They are now 14-2 on the season after 3 straight victories this past week. And they have won 5 in a row now. And boy, Tillsonburg had really put the heat on them, but Tilbury done a nice job here with a couple wins. 1 over Stratford and 2 over Alvinson. We're going to get to those in a minute. We do have highlights from those 3 games. The 4th game that we were supposed to have this past week was supposed to take place in Elora back on December 23rd between the Thunder and the Elora Rocks. However, weather had other ideas and decided to get in the way of anybody making it to Elora for that one. So that game will be replayed it was rescheduled for Friday, for February the 17th. And that goes at 8:30 in Elora. But yeah, we had a couple of really nice hockey games though this past week. Like I said, Stratford, they were at home on Tuesday, the 27th, against the Tilbury Bluebirds. Good matchup there between 2 really hot teams in the WOSHL League. And then we had a home and home back-to-back between the Alvinson Killer Bees and Tilbury Bluebirds. Got highlights from all of those. We'll get you caught up on our standings updates. We'll get you caught up on our leading scorers update, as well as we'll give you our leading goaltenders before we get into our interview on this week's edition of the WOSHL podcast. But without further ado, here's our highlights from this past week in the WOSHL.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are at the William Allman Memorial Arena here in Stratford, Ontario, Canada. Andrew Rogers alongside Brian Hawley for tonight's matchup. Post-Christmas, well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. Hope you had a good holiday. Well, be safe out there, whatever you do. The treacherous conditions aside can make for treacherous adventures. We feature this evening the Tilbury Bluebirds and their 11-2 record up against the Stratford Fighting Irish, winners of 9 in a row. They are 10-2. This puck. O'Brien's going to play the puck ahead. Oh, great pass. What a play to Buckholz. Nice save, though, by Polidori. He looked calm, cool, and collected on that one.
Anyways, but that's one big difference between Stratford then and Stratford now against this Tilbury team.
Giveaway by Petrie. Oh, what a hit. Riley Coombe took his man down. That was Masonville as he gave the shot away, and Masonville is slow to get up. Look out. Boy, he took a wallop and a half from the big man out there, number 55.
Riley Coombe is a big man.
And here he goes. Martin with a single stripe on his stick. A nice tape job by Colin Martin today. And Polidori makes the save and he'll hold on. Official. Brulot. Oh, wow. Look at this. He's in. Shot. Nice save by Polidori. He knew that Brulot was going low blocker. Wow, what a save by Ryan Polidori. Oh, big hit at the line. And now they look to be okay. I think everybody's all right. They're in across the line. Here's a chance. Scores! Mitch Van Teeling, number 37, breaks the ice in this one. And Tilbury's on the board first. It's 1-0 Bluebirds.
Behind the play, and he's not the type of player to suffer any maltreatment from the other team.
Face-off is going to be controlled, and Stratford has the puck. They'll bring it ahead. Look, good pressure here by Stratford on this shift. And you know what? They need to put this kind of pressure on if they're to lose O'Brien here. This one to the line. Brulot stops. Shot! Nice blocker save. Polidori with the save there. Stratford with a ton of pressure here, looking for the equalizer. What a block! Woohoo! Fuller will play it ahead, and Brody Smith into Buckholz. The Smith shot, Chevalier with the block. Great play. These guys defensively are outstanding. Here's Travis Winkworth. Scores! Wow, what a goal! Travis Winkworth, highlight reel. Van Teeling, look out! Denomi's breaking! And he gets hooked down. We're going to get a penalty shot? Yes, we are. Tilbury's Dylan Denomi got in alone in behind both defenders and was taken down, and that's a penalty shot for number 96 of Tilbury here with 8:09 to play. And Denomi's going to go in on the breakaway against Zach Weir.
Well, a scramble at the blue line there, and Denomi just took off, trusting his partner to make the play. And boy, what a big play this is! From an opportunity to get to 2-1 down to 3-0. Let's see what happens.
Here he goes. Denomi in on Weir. Deeks! What a save by Weir with the glove hand! Woo! 10-bell save. Boy, if you're looking for a rallying cry, that's got to be it right there. Winkworth, I believe, is in there after it. Backhand! Look out! Nice pass saved by Weir. Weir had to be sharp on that. Centering pass. Oh, how did that miss rebound? Scores! A rebound off the end boards, and it's going to be 42, your pal Burridge. He's got his man, Chagrintsev. Puts it back. Into the middle, looking for Denomi. He's got it. In around. Centering. Oh! Rebound scores! Van Teeling and no... Oh! Your heart breaks for Weir. Now took a deflection off of Stratford's skate right to Van Teeling, who was there, bread and butter, all alone, and he threw it through the 5-hole of an unsuspecting goaltender. And it's 4-0 just like that as Tilbury strikes less than 30 seconds later. Lawrence was with the check on Petrie. This puck is deep in the Tilbury zone as Stratford gets it. It's into the middle. Oh, what a check! McCutcheon is buried in front, and now they're going to give a penalty. McCutcheon was buried from behind, and they're going to give a penalty here. The other way. This time is going to be Eric Winter. His shot well wide on the glove hand side of Zach Weir. That shot was headed towards Listowel. Puck is going to be played into the middle. Look out. Geldart shot. Scores! Anthony Geldart sneaks it past the glove hand side of Zach Weir. And big check on the boards there as McCutcheon went after Eric Winter. And Denomi gets into it with McCutcheon. Denomi's not happy at McCutcheon. They continue to talk. McCutcheon just slashed Denomi. He's not happy about that. And he's going to get a penalty as well. McCutcheon's going to get a penalty. Denomi's still talking. Now he drops the gloves and McCutcheon's going to drop him. This is going to be awesome. Heavyweight tilt there. Denomi on the ice a lot tonight. So Tilbury leads 5-0. Oh, big. That one, Chagrintsev goes into the face of Fuller. And he's going to get whistled here. It's going to be a high stick.
He's going to get thrown
send him
out.
away. They're going to give him the door. That's going to be it for him.
Come up with a game plan that is perfectly suited to the roster that they have. And we could have another fight here.
So this one's Tyler Lawrence and Riley Coombe. Lawrence number 89, and Coombs going to feed him a couple as the referees break that up before it gets too heavy. So for the Tilbury Bluebirds, here's where we stand. With the victory, they are 12-2 on the season. They move ahead at Tilsonburg, technically, like for now, for first place with 24 points. Stratford, it's their first loss in 10 games. They fall to 10-3.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Kinsman Auditorium here in Tilbury, Ontario. Game is underway between the Tilbury Bluebirds and the Elvinston Sting as puck gets fired out now. The Bluebirds.
Winkworth ducks it back in the corner. Cycling back out. Stepping up. Quick snapshot. Decoding the save. Rebound. And scores! The Bluebirds on top as the puck bounced up over to Cody. He lost track of it and fluttered over his back into the net to give the Bluebirds a 1-0 lead here for tonight's game. The Bluebirds fire it down the ice. Taking control of it, Sting. Johnson turns around behind the net, takes a hit, still throws it off. Now McGee fires it up, and penalty coming up on the play. As actually a player down, one of the Tilbury players is a little late getting up. He looks like he took a stick by the Bluebirds. Bluebirds come back up the ice, chipped up through center, trying to step up through, cut across. Winter drills a shot, scores! Winter took the pass from Lawrence and made no mistake, hammered a boomer from the left dot. Hustling up now, here they come. As Winkworth splits the D, cuts in, nice play, Winkworth shoots, gets past DeConing, but it kept out of the net. Somehow, little DeConing kept out of the net, and it takes a swipe at it, and bounced up to the point. Long shot by Chevalier, blocked, and back up the ice, here comes Alveston, racing up the ice, semi-breakaway, trying to cut through now, nice shot, big save, and goal, scores! Dawson Winchester makes it 2-1. Tilbury leads Albie. Big senior player, Bolt's a great guy as well. And in this Tilbury area, again, some great players have come out of the Essex County area too. As now breaking away, stealing the puck up the ice. Here comes Antone. Antone moves in. Quick shot, scores! Antone ties it up with a breakaway. Through center ice, Shagrintsev knocks it up and takes back control. Shagrintsev moves up over center ice. Shagrintsev centers and quick shot, scores to Dome. Beautiful play by Shagrintsev as he cut through center. Looked like he was going to take the shot. And on his off wing, puts on the binders, but it's poked away from him. Denholm takes it. It's a little shove from behind. They battle for it deep in the Alvinston zone. Pulled out. And Van Teeling steps in, makes a move. DeConing with a save on that play. And Nolan DeConing, this game could be 7-2, but DeConing has made some great saves here, but have broken up. Now, once again, Shagrintsev steals, and he's upended on the play. So now Tilbury going on the power play. Quick shot, and scores to the far end. As the referee had his arm up for a penalty. Cross ice for Denholm. Denholm carries it in. Denholm has McGee battling against him. McGee steals the puck, chips it off the glass. That one's high and out. But Denholm takes it. Feeds it across for Shagrintsev. Nifty between the legs pass. Now to Winter. Winter to Denholm. Denholm has a shot just wide of the net. It comes back to Jennings at the point. Jennings feeds it across. McGibbon rifles it through Travis. Scores! Out of the lineup tonight, but Dawson Winchester has 11 points in 14 games. He's got a goal tonight for the Alvinston squad. Hard across ice, quick shot, and scores once again. Winkworth with the back, comes down the net to Lawrence. Lawrence centers it out. Now Hughes takes it for the Bluebirds. Hughes puts it towards the net. Loose puck, they scramble for a Winter. Back in, scores! Winter pulled it out, just a blind backhand upstairs, under the crossbar, top cheese. Gelhardt to Cravat. Cravat, nice move, steps in, move shot, and again, DeConing keeps that one out. Jamison fires it up. Antone moves in all alone. Antone, quick shot, scores! He's a sniper. He may not be the quickest guy in the league, but he moves it past Polidori. He's got a quick release and a great shot. And that'll do it for tonight's game. The Tilbury Bluebirds have defeated the Alveston Killer Bees by a score of 7-3. Great team, this Tilbury Bluebirds team, the powerhouse, as they improved to 13-2 on the season. Killer Bees congratulate goaltender DeConing, as I'm not even sure how many shots he faced. He must have seen 70 shots tonight, and he played stellar as well. So the final score tonight, live from the Tilbury Arena in front of a sold-out show, 7-3, the Tilbury Bluebirds have defeated the Alveston Killer Bees. And we'll be joining you again, ladies and gentlemen,
Our last highlight of the week that was in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League comes from Alvinston, the BAICC complex. The Alvinston Killer Bees hosting the Tilbury Bluebirds, second of a back-to-back home-and-home between the two clubs. First period nearing the 6-minute mark. Puck is into the Tilbury zone. Puck is going to be centered out to Carson Perry, and he scores. Alvinston's on the board first. It's 1-0 Killer Bees. From there, however, it was all Bluebirds. 2 minutes later, it was the captain, Dylan Denomi, with his 20th goal of the season. He beats Spencer Robertson. We are tied at 1. Bluebirds continuing the pressure a couple minutes later, and this time it's going to be number 90, Austin Jennings, recording his first goal of the season. That puts the Bluebirds up 2-1. 3 minutes to go in the period now, and Tilbury not done in the first. And it's going to be Jennings again. This time he doubles down his second goal of the game. And that puts the Bluebirds up at that point by a score of 3-1, still in the first period. And a minute later, Tilbury still on the go here. Loose puck from the shot from the line is going to find Dylan Denomi again off to the side all by himself. That's his 21st of the season. And after one period of play, it's 4-1 Bluebirds. Second period now, and it's the Bluebirds again in on the play in the Alvinston zone. They're going to force this turnover. Puck is going to find its way to Adam Hughes out in front, and he makes no mistake past Spencer Robertson, and that's his second of the season, and we are at 5-1 for Tilbury. Play really ratcheting up here in the game as Logan Piercy takes his man into the boards from behind. Sheldon Timmermans, number 76 of Alvinston, takes exception. They both drop the mitts and have a spirited tilt. Alvinston just trying to get something going, and obviously standing up for a teammate is Timmermans. But him and Piercy get 5 for fighting, and the Bluebirds continue to lead 5-1. Just past the halfway point in the period, and this time the Bluebirds are going to score once again. This time Vyacheslav Chagrincev will score his 15th of this season, and the Bluebirds continue to roll here. They now lead it 6-1 in the hockey game. 5 minutes to play now in the second period, and Tilbury is on the power play. They work it around to Chagrincev in the middle. He's all by himself, and he rifles it past Spencer Robertson, high glove side. That's his 16th of the season, and the Bluebirds stretch their lead to 7-1. Time winding down in the second period, and number 96, Dylan Denomi, is going to cap off his night scoring-wise as he comes down the slot, takes the pass, and makes no mistake. That's his league-leading 22nd goal of the season, and third of the evening for the hat trick. Third period now, 8-1 for the Tilbury Bluebirds, and it's going to be Austin Jennings joining the hat trick party. His third of the game off the rebound off of Spencer Robertson and stopping the initial shot. That makes it 9-1 Bluebirds in the third. And after Nick Tetriol's fourth of the season, made it 10-1 for Tilbury, and that is how the game ends up. Final score, Tilbury 10, Alvinston 1. Tilbury now 14-2 on this season, while the Alvinston Killer Bees fall to 4-11-1 on the year. Final score, 10-1, Tilbury.
Yeah, so from that, we jump right into our standings update here, guys. And as I mentioned, the Tilbury Bluebirds become the first WOSHL team to officially clinch a playoff spot. They are 14-2. They have won 5 in a row. They are the first WOSHL team to score over 100 goals this season. They now have 102, and they've allowed a league low, tied with Stratford with 39 against. Tillsonburg Thunder won back with 40. But their goal differential they lead at Monkston is plus 63. They have 28 points. They are now 6 ahead of the Tillsonburg Thunder. The Thunder 11-1, 97 in, 40 against for a plus-minus differential, plus 57. They've won 10 in a row. Stratford falls to 10-3. They lose their first in 10 games. They are, like I said, 10-3, still maintaining a better percentage than the Elora Rocks, but they've played 2 less games. 85 in, 39 against for a plus-minus of 46. The Elora Rocks 9-4-2. They are tied with Stratford for third. 86 in, 57 against for a plus-minus of 29. They will look to right the ship as we head into the second half of the season. The Strathroy Jets, 9-7. They've won 3 in a row, 2 points back of both Stratford and Elora. 63 and 66 against for a plus-minus of -3. The Plattsville Lakers at 5-10. They sit in sole possession of 6th, 1 point better than the Alvinston Killer Bees. However, the Bees are running out of games, 4-11-1. They have lost 3 in a row. You have the Aaron Blitz at 2-10-1. They are tied in 8th with the Delhi Flames. However, the Aaron Blitz have played 3 less games. So Delhi's got a lot of work to do to try and get into that 8th spot in the playoffs. Of course, the top 8 teams make the playoffs. We switch over to our leading scorers, and boy, the Tilbury Bluebirds, when they win, they get big contributions from guys like Dylan Denomi and Vyacheslav Chagrincev. Denomi now with 22 goals and 18 assists, good for 40 points. His 22 goals tied Jake Brown for the WOSHL record in a season at 22. Like I say, he's still got, 10 games left to go. So he's going to smash it and then some. Chagrincev with 23 assists, top last year's total of 20 from Todd Ratchford. So he holds the assist record for a single season in WOSHL in the brief 1.5 years down so far. We have, and then both their point totals surpass Alex Utley's 37 from last year as well. So we're going to set some new records here. Chad Herron, 31. Travis Winkworth, a big week for him as well. 28 points. He sits in 4th. Kevin Hugh now sits in 2nd with goals of 21. He has 26 points. Jamie McQueen with 24. Graham Brulotte with 23 from Stratford. Hunter Dubecki from Plattsville with 22. Spencer Gorley, Elora, 22. And Ray Robbins with 22. Also, we want to add on the podcast this week our goalies update as well. Just some numbers here to look at from the goalie's perspective. Ryan Polidori continues to lead all goaltenders with 13 wins. He has played 15 games. He's only lost 2, and he's got 3 shutouts. Unbelievable for him. He's played a league high 900 minutes, and he's only allowed 35 goals in that time span. Plus save percentage of 928. He's unbelievable. Matt Segrot of the Tilsonburg Thunder. He has a record of 7-1-0 with 2 shutouts, plus a very nice goal against average of 196. He's played, like I said, 8 games, 7-1. Colin Dunn is 6-3-1. Josh Diamond 6-6. Zach Weir at 5-2. Darren Smith and Jesse Raymond both undefeated, 4-0, and Jesse Raymond 4-0 as well. And Darren Smith with the shutout as well. Zach Weir has a shutout. Josh Diamond has a shutout as well. Some good numbers there. Nolan DeKoning 4-5-1. Devin Clark 4-6, and then Cody Odvashar rounds out our top 10 for the goalies with a record of 2-6-1. But a lot of there's a few goalies there with 2 wins so far this season in the WOSHL for the goaltenders. So yeah, guys, it's going to be quite the week upcoming here as we take a look at our schedule on the upcoming schedule here. The Aaron Blitz and the Elora Rocks to kick things underway in this upcoming week, week 14. Friday, January the 6th at 8:30, Elora and District Community Center for the Aaron Blitz and Elora Rocks. Saturday, we have 4 games on tap. We start in Aaron between the Lakers and the Aaron Blitz. That one goes at 7:30 at Center 2000. Killer Bees and the Tilbury Bluebirds play the 3rd of 3 in a row between the 2 teams. That one goes on Saturday at 7:30. The Strathroy Jets and the Tilsonburg Thunder tangle for a matchup at the Tilsonburg Community Center. That'd be an unbelievable contest. Like I say, Saturday, January 7th at 7:30. One of 3 games at 7:30. And then we have our last game on Saturday is the Stratford Fighting Irish and the Delhi Flames. That one goes at 8 o'clock on Saturday as well. Our last game of the weekend is the Stratford Fighting Irish at 10-3 and the Plattsville Lakers at 5-10. They go at 3:30 on Sunday, January the 8th at the Plattsville Arena. One other thing, guys, that we want to mention and talk about here on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast is that this year the WOSHL Hockey League has decided to do something a little bit new with a virtual All-Star game that will be played on the EA Sports NHL franchise. We'll do it'll be like a simulated game between the 2 teams with customized players. I would imagine that would be how it would go. But just to give you guys clarity on the results, if you haven't seen them already, which I imagine you have. In our East forwards, we start there. Braden Roberts from Tilsonburg, Chris Donnelly from Delhi, Jamie McQueen of Tilsonburg are all starters. From the Aaron Blitz, you have Max Lightfoot and Jacob Miller. From the Plattsville Lakers, you have number 9, Kevin Hugh. From Tilsonburg, number 17, Mike Rebry. From the Delhi Flames, Quinn Van Bokel. From the Elora Rocks, Chad Herron. From the Elora Rocks, Zach Cameron. And from the Delhi Flames, Kyle Vieger. On the East defense, starting there is Brendan Barletta of the Tilsonburg Thunder and Justin Abraham of the Tilsonburg Thunder. Also making the cut on the East defense is Spencer McCormick of the Elora Rocks and Mike Iacometti of the Elora Rocks. Jeff White of the Aaron Blitz, and Mitch Randall of the Plattsville Lakers round out the defensive six. And then in goal, starting there is Matt Sagrod of the Tillsonburg Thunder, and you have Colin Dunn of the Elora Rocks voted in as the backup. Over on the west side, you have Graham Brulotte from the Stratford Fighting Irish. He's joined by Vyacheslav Chigrincev and Dylan Denome of the Tilbury Bluebirds. Ray Robbins gets in from Stratford, Dawson Winchester from Alvinston, Wes Baker from Strathroy, Travis Winkworth from Tilbury, Mike Mandarelli from Strathroy, Mitch Van Teeling from Tilbury, Cameron Welch from Alvinston, and Brandon Buck from the Strathroy Jets. Over on the west defensive side, we have Matt Fuller on the Stratford side, Matt LeBears on the Strathroy Jets side, Cole Chevalier from the Tilbury Bluebirds, Bailey Freifogel of the Alvinston Killer Bees, Riley Coombe, and Zach Tierney, both of the Stratford Fighting Irish Fuller and LeBears voted in as starters. Over on the west side for the goaltenders, Ryan Polidori, the runaway leader there for the goaltenders, he gets in for the west side, and then Joshua Diamond on the Strathroy Jets side is the backup. We also have the WOSHL League is doing a last chance vote for both the last spot on the east side and the west side. Over on the east side, the nominees are Todd Ratchford of Tillsonburg, Jeff Zier of Plattsville, Chris Hurabeck of Delhi, Ty Campbell of Elora, and Liam Galton of Erin. Over on the west side, you have Anthony Geldart of Tilbury, Brad Crisco of Stratford, Alex Cunningham of the Alvinston Killer Bees, and Greg Milner of the Strathroy Jets. Okay, folks. Yes, we are. That brings you up to speed on what's going on so far. And without further ado, we're going to jump to our guest on this week's edition of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. Plays for the Elora Rocks. He wears number 65, Ty Campbell. All right, folks. Here on the podcast, we trudge on and we welcome in our guest on this week's edition of the podcast, number 65 from the Elora Rocks. Number one in your hearts, Ty Campbell. Ty, it's great to see you, buddy. Always a pleasure to speak with you. You know that. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. It's the first I talked to you since. And welcome to the podcast, Paul.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. It's good catching up with you again, and hope everything was good on your end for the holidays.
Absolutely, man. Everything's great. You know what? And it's funny with WOSHL, especially because, a lot of teams, some teams haven't played in a while, but then you got this Tilbury Bluebirds team that swept last week, 3 straight wins. You guys unfortunately postponed. That was unfortunate because I think that would have been a dandy. Take us back to that overtime game. Actually, that was quite a game with you and the Thunder. 7-6 in overtime or something, right?
So I wasn't actually in that game, but I remember just checking the updates every 3 seconds. And at first I saw 5-0. I thought, oh, we had a short bench. Tillsonburg's up 5-0. And I looked again and I was like, the boys are up 5-0, which is surprising, but it's not really surprising that Tillsonburg came back. Every time
right.
head to head, it's super close, and it's always a good rivalry between those guys and us, and we always want to win those games for sure.
Yeah, I find that so intriguing, man. And every time you guys play each other, same with Tillsonburg and Strathroy. I always find that they go head to head, and they're really it's an unbelievable matchup. It's just crazy to see. But like I said, yeah, so you guys get postponed. Tilbury goes on this unreal run where they sweep the week, where they score a ridiculous amount of goals. They put your boy Chad Herron way behind Dylan in the scoring race, which is unreal. But they're playing really well right now. In terms of you guys, though, where do you see your team heading into the second half of this season?
I just think we just got to keep doing what we've done since last year. I know we've had not the best start, but we have a great group of guys and great organization. So we just got to stick to what we were successful with last year, and that's playing as a team and just really buying into our system. And I'm sure we'll be fine come playoff time.
And then, obviously for you guys last year, I noticed, Alex Utley was unreal for you guys last year, put up a ton of points, led the whole league in scoring. Chad Herron, though, has been unbelievable for you guys of late. Like I said, I mentioned, he caught Chagrincev before Tilbury played their 3 games last week. He was right there at the top of the leaderboard. And, how impressive have you been with his play?
Chad has just turned on another gear. He's always had it in him. And to be honest, with our entire team from the first to the fourth line, we're so deep, anyone can get streaky at times. I know you mentioned Alex, but just wait for the new year and I'll bet you he'll start catching up as well. And a lot of other guys on our team too. We just got to get going. And once we're going as a team, we're a well-oiled machine and there's no stopping us.
And that's the great thing about this league. Add in the expansion teams, there's a lot of challenges all the way through, no question. But that really top 1 through 5, like between Tilbury and Strathroy, I mean, Tilbury's pulled away, sure, with the 3 games, but every other team below them either has games in hand or games to make up. And there's a lot, like the seeding race is going to be unreal come the playoff time.
Yeah, like from a player's perspective, like it's really good to have a couple extra teams. Like I know last year people would always chirp and say, "Oh, you're playing beer league," and it's like, well, no, it's considered semi-pro, and this year especially, like there's a lot of talent in the league, and a lot of teams have stepped up. Like Stratford's really good this year, Tilsonburg always good, and the top everyone in the league, it's anyone's game really. Whoever decides to show up and play the game, you know.
Well, that's the interesting thing that I keep telling people every time I talk to them about it is that any team on any given night can beat another team, I think. And the other part that I find so fascinating is that teams generally don't travel very well in this league either. So like the road team, as opposed to the home team, like, man, what a difference we're talking.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because like we're all grown men here and women, I should say now in our league.
Right.
We all have jobs, right? And we have
Sure.
to commit to that first. And we all love the game. That's why we're still playing it. But come playoff time, that's when everyone kind of gears down and get the full rosters. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle sometimes when you got to drive 2 hours and stuff. Like I'm coming from Mississauga to Elora. So like
Right.
Mississauga to Plattsville or Alvinston, that's like a full day for me. 2.5 there, 2.5 back, right?
Absolutely. No question. But yeah, like I say, I mean, I think, yeah, given the full complement of guys that we've seen, and obviously teams are going to improve a little bit here before the roster deadline, which I think is the 15th of January, if I'm not mistaken. But teams will have everything figured out generally how they're going to go into the playoffs by that point. And then, yeah, come playoff time, when you have a full complement of both teams going head to head, man, that'll be interesting. Like, who are you most looking forward to going up against come playoff time? Is it Tilbury, obviously, because you haven't seen much of them?
Yeah, well, Tilbury, obviously, we want to get a piece of or at least have a game against them, right? Because we don't play against them the whole season.
Which is odd, but yes.
I love playing against everyone because everyone hates me on the other team, and that's where I kind of get my bread and butter. But to be honest, like I think our number one rivals are probably Tilsonburg and Stratford. Stratford got the best of us the last 2 games. They deserve to win both those games both times. And
Right.
like I said, any night, any team, I think we're all ready to go 100%, and it doesn't really matter who we're playing.
And do you think there's maybe a little bit to prove on your guys' side too, as the defending champs? Do you think there's a little extra pressure on your bench?
Yeah, 100%. Like we definitely got that chip on the shoulder, like everyone against us attitude, and we just got to battle through adversity. Like sometimes the refs aren't always going to be on your side, regardless of the game or team. You just got to keep playing through it, and I think that's a big thing that we got to do is just keep playing and not worry about the extracurriculars or anything else, and just stick to playing hockey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you on that. Second half of your guys' season starts this upcoming Friday when you host the Aaron Blitz at the Elora and District Community Center. It's the only game you guys play this weekend. But again, one of those games, I mean, Aaron can, if they've got a full complement and they're going, they can surprise a team. I mean, they may not have had the greatest year to this point, but again, it's back to what we said. Like on any given night, they could come out and they could beat you.
Yeah, well, like the other, I don't forget when it was, but we were playing them and they were up, I think 1 or 2 goals. It just goes to show like anything can happen, right? You just got to play the game from start to finish. You can't just play 20, 40 minutes. You got to play a full 60.
And one of the questions I want to ask too is, have you noticed a big difference like from year 1 to year 2 in this league? Like, has there been something that maybe stuck out for you, or is it about the same? Like, what has your adjustments been?
Well, obviously it was amazing to get the opportunity from Jamie Petrie and everyone to like start the league in general after COVID to even just get back into it. I didn't
Right.
play for a while, so just having the opportunity to play again was awesome. But this year, even more people want to play, right? Like people are blowing up my Instagram and whatnot saying, "Hey, where are you playing? What are you doing? What is this?" And it's like, it's just great for the league because even if they can't come to Elora, I say there are so many other teams you can go to. I know one of my buddies was talking to going to play with Delhi and whatnot, but yeah, like it's fun to be there. I know I look forward to it every Friday night. I'm pretty sure every player in the league looks forward to game day, right? It's just something we can do from our basic lives that brings us joy. And we're, like I said a million times, we just enjoy playing hockey, and that's why we're all here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No one seems to enjoy the game more than you, though. And I definitely enjoyed your video of the fight that you had against Plattsville there, where you got the crowd, what was left of it anyways, fired up after your fight. Like, I know that, like, having been in Elora for those games, playing in front of those fans there, it's electric. And it's got to be awesome as a player as well.
It's awesome. Like we have a good group of the youth organization that comes out. Laura's always had a good fan base, especially in playoffs. Like when we were in Fergus last year, we were almost like 800 fans around there.
Yeah.
It just gets loud, and we always want to play for each other and the fans. And we got a really special thing going in Elora, and I think that's what separates us from everyone else. I know everyone has their own thing hometown, but I know our players and our community have a really special bond, and that's why we're able to pull a horseshoe out of our ass per se in some games and stuff and come back.
Words well spoken. We've been speaking with number 65, Ty Campbell of the Elora Rocks. He does it all. He scores. He puts up penalty minutes. He leads the team in penalty minutes. I'm sure he loved the fact that I pointed that out. But we definitely appreciate having you on, dude, and talking with you as always. Best of luck the rest of the way, and we'll talk to you again for sure the rest of the way at some point the rest of the season. And good luck come playoff time, no question.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, guys, just want to take this opportunity to thank Sleeman Breweries, the sponsor of our Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, episode number 14. I want to thank you guys, the viewer, for watching as always. And yeah, guys, it should be a great slate of games coming up here this weekend. Make sure to tune in on Sportfully and make sure to check out your favorite team and watch them in action and see what team can bring it home. Like I said, lots of great matchups coming up the rest of the way here. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. Also, keep those tabs on for the virtual All-Star game as well, and keep those votes coming in, and get your last chance All-Stars in there, and make sure to tune in for that. So it should be a lot of fun. More details obviously going to come your way. Hopefully with the next podcast, we'll have more details on it. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm Andrew Rogers, your host of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast for this past week. Great to be back with you guys once again, and we'll see you guys again next week. Take care.